Yeah, hi, Precious. You can go now. We're live.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Greetings, Nigerian coppers. Greetings, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. So, I'm super excited about the topic we're going to be looking at today. But before I start, I like to give honor to whom honor is due. Special greetings team of to the entire team of King Peak Holdings for inviting me to this very special segment with Nigerian youth corporates. And shout out to the president, Tosin, for this opportunity. The great work you're doing with the Nigerian corporates is super amazing. Encourage your great work, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you for creating this platform from making Nigerian youth use their service here very creatively, very impactfully, and of course, make money while serving. So, right about now, we'll be looking at making money during NYSC legitimately and creatively under the theme maximizing your service here. And I like to start this way. My name is Precious Chinweani, popularly called Global Presh. And right on the screen, that's my picture when I did my youth service in the beautiful city of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. So let me share with us how you can make money during your NYSC and, of course, my own personal story. Now, I like to start with this. Under the sun and in the rain, Nigeria is as Nigeria we serve. You must have come across this popular line in the NYSC national anthem. Under the sun and in the rain, Nigeria is as Nigeria will serve. Now, being a core member comes with an amazing feeling. Trust me, it comes with this feeling of, oh, finally I'm done with school. Oh, finally, I'm done writing exams. I'm done going to classes. I'm done being shouted upon by lecturers. There's this feeling of freedom that comes from it, free from assignments and examinations. And with this excitement comes responsibility. Yes, NYC is responsibility. And there's a need for you to learn how to be financially independent as you are serving. Now, the question is, how many of you came into NYC thinking this year would just be about camp? 3 weeks in camp, you go to camp, you meet new people, you have fun, posting pictures, and going back home with a certificate. That's what most of us thought when we entered NYC camp. We just felt like, oh, after all, we're going to stay 3 weeks, meeting new people, eating food, and eventually going home after 3 weeks. But trust me, that's not how it all ends. So raise your hand if you had this feeling. If you didn't have this feeling, I know what you're thinking right now. Now, let me tell you, NYC is another opportunity. A lot of people think NYC is scam, but NYC is not scam. NYC is seen as a transition. It is a transition, a year for you to serve, a year for you to wait, a year for you to figure out things. One of the most beautiful seasons of every young person's life is your undergraduate days. During your undergraduate days, you have freedom to develop yourself, freedom to expand your network, freedom to make money, freedom to develop your skills, freedom to increase your knowledge bank. Unfortunately, a lot of people missed it when they were in university. Now, NYSC is giving you a second chance to redeem yourself, a second chance to figure out your life purpose, a second chance to figure out your life vision, a second chance to set your life on track. So, yes, NYSC is not scam. NYC is a launch pad, a year where you can start that business you've been dreaming about, a year where you can develop the skills, a year where you can make money, a year where you can build a global network, a year where you can create a portfolio that will carry you for the rest of your life. So the question is, how you using your youth service year? If you're an intending corps member or already serving corps member, what is your vision? I like to ask the question, what is your plan for 1 year youth service? What plans do you have? Because if you don't have a plan, then you've already planned to fail. So now let's look at interesting facts. Beyond the certificate, a lot of people, like I said, see NYSC as transition. Oh, you finish school, you're going to go and serve, and after service, you get a certificate. Now, remove your mind on the certificate and focus on the things beyond the certificate. There is lots more in 1 year. You can achieve a lot in 1 year. So your 1 year could be your launch pad for growth. Your launch pad to start that business you dreamt about, your launch pad to develop that skill, your launch pad to build a portfolio. A lot of us has dreamt about a lot of business ideas. Unfortunately, the university setting does not have an entire curriculum to teach you everything you need to know about entrepreneurship, to teach you everything you need to know about business. So you have a 1 year to redeem yourself. You have 12 months to develop your idea, to pitch your business to investors, to get a skill. A lot of people after school begin to cry, there's no job opportunity, but I tell you, there are several job opportunities. The question is, are you finding these opportunities in the right place? Are you finding these opportunities in the right environment? Do you have an idea of where to find these opportunities? Do you know where these opportunities are? We live in a world, a global world that has millions of people. And the way there are millions of people is the same way there are millions of opportunities. So do you have the right knowledge, the right information? And beyond having the information, do you have the prerequisite skill to get employed? One of the challenges we face in the workplace is employability. A lot of young graduates are not employable. A lot of companies and organizations, institutions are looking to hire graduates, fresh graduates. But unfortunately, most of our graduates are not equipped with the right skill. So what skill do you have as a graduate? So NYSC can be that opportunity where you learn how to bake, where you learn that program management course, where you learn that course on AI and technology, where you learn how to teach people, where you learn how to master your knowledge, where you learn several skills. Now, the next thing is financial independence. A lot of us were depending on our parents when we were in school. Why some of us never had that privilege? Why you might have the privilege of being trained by your parents, fed by your parents, given luxury apartment by your parents, giving money. Some others did not have that privilege. So many people were not privileged to be born with a silver spoon. So what are you doing? What were you doing in your undergraduate days to make money, to earn a living? A lot of people started working while they were undergraduates, especially those in the creative industry, graphic designers, video editors, a lot of them photographers, a lot of them were already earning while in school. Why? Because they developed their skills. Now, you that have no skill, what are you doing differently now that you're serving? How do you intend to make money? How do you intend to generate income without cutting corners or breaking the rules? Like I said, NYSC can be that year where you break out of poverty, where you gain financial freedom. So many young people have found themselves in situations they do not like, but they cannot work out. Why? Because they do not have the necessary financial capacity to pull out of those situations. So you need to build financial independence. You need financial literacy. You need to learn how to make money, how to be independent, how to build a business, how to save, how to budget wisely. Beyond your allowance every month, For people like me that never touched our alawi, from the first day I entered camp till the day I left, I was saving up my NYSC allowance because I had other multiple streams of income that I was surviving on. What about you? Do you have a financial plan for yourself? Now that they are paying 77K, calculate 77K times 12 months. That's a lot of money to start anything you want to start. Do you have already existing plan? Or you just want to go there and take the money and do whatever you want to do? At the end of 1 year, you go back to square one. The next is impactful and life-changing. NYSC can change the trajectory of your life. You see that 3 weeks in camp can change the trajectory of your life. You can meet the next president of a nation in camp. You can meet the next governor in camp. You can meet the next Dangote in camp. You can meet global change makers in camp. Are you positioning for networking? I say this all the time. There are two currencies that govern the world: money and relationship. And you must have any of them. If you don't have money, then you must invest in your social capital. You must have powerful people in your network. If you have only broke friends in your network, then that's not your network because you are broke. You need people who are doing well, people who are in business doing well, people who are in the banking sector, people who are in different phases of life doing well for themselves. So NYSC can be impactful and life-changing for your personal and professional growth. Now, why is NYSC the perfect launch pad for you? Why do you think, oh, in 1 year you can achieve so much? Why do I believe so? Because I know so, because I've served, because I've seen other people globally who have served. You can achieve in 1 month things you were not able to achieve in the 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, as the case may be in your undergraduate days. Why? Time and flexibility. NYSC gives you time. You have ample hours to explore any side hustle, any side business, to pursue any dream, to pursue any vision. You have time. Time is a currency that a lot of people are looking for. People are looking for time. Why is it that we have the same 24 hours? Every individual on earth has the same 24 hours. But if you check our results are different. Some people learned how to maximize time while the others were wasting time. So time is money. You have all the time. You have a whole 1 year all to yourself. No lecturer is coming to beat you. Nobody's questioning where you wrote exams. Nobody's disturbing you. You just have yourself and your time. So what you do with your time during your service here is very important. Every time counts. Every moment counts. From the day you step into camp to the day you pass out, your time counts. Networking opportunities. I can't overemphasize on the power of networking. You connect with people across Nigeria, across the globe. We are in an ever-evolving world, and you need people to thrive. The money you're looking for is in the hands of people. The power you're looking for is in the hands of people. The connection you're looking for is in the hands of people. Every single thing human beings are striving to get is in the hands of people. So you need people. You need to connect with the right people. When we talk about Africa developing and Africa becoming better, we're saying young people should begin to think Pan-African. And what do we mean by thinking Pan-African? That you're in Nigeria and you can develop a business or a service or a product that can serve other African countries. That you can be in Nigeria and your network is beyond Nigeria. You have people in Kenya, you have people in Ghana, you have people in UK, you have people in US, you have a large, robust network of powerful people. The question is, who do you have in your network? Who is in your network? There's this popular quote that we all say and we joke about, but it's very striking. If you are around 5 ignorant people, you are the 6th ignorant person. If you're around 6 ignorant people, you are the 7%. It means the things the people in your network do indirectly or directly affect you. So if you have people who are unserious in your network, automatically you become unserious. If you have people who are lazy in your network, automatically it will rub off on you. Your network equals your network. So who do you have? NYC gives you that opportunity to network with every single person, both the high and the low. You have ample opportunity to connect with people. Now, government and corporate programs. There are a lot of opportunities for NYC members. There's NYC National Award, Presidential Award, that gives you opportunity to get a student scholarship for your master's program, gives you cash prize. Your local government can give you an award. There are several opportunities for core members. There are several opportunities for core members. So we have several awards, several grants, several mentorship programs for young people. Which of these opportunities are you aware of? Do you know the criteria for the presidential award? Have you read your NYSC manual yet? Have you read what it takes to qualify for the presidential award? There are several global opportunities that you can access. There's the Mandela Washington Fellowship, there's the Yali West African Ghana Fellowship, there's the Mandela Nelson Award, there's several opportunities. Which of them are you positioning for? The next point is credibility boost. NYC boosts your credibility. There's something the Bible says, whatever your hands find to do, do it well. If you serve well, your PPA can give you recommendation. You will be respected by clients, by your business partners, by your fellow corporates. People will recommend you, so it boosts your credibility. You have 1 year to build competence. Now, what is the very first step? Identify your skills and interests. What areas are you interested in? What are the things you're interested in? What are the things you are interested in? And I keep saying this, you need to become self-aware. You cannot lead people if you've not led yourself. NYC is a year of service, is a year of leadership, exploring your leadership skills, putting your leadership skills to work. Either in a school, whatever environment where you are posted, you are there to showcase your leadership ability. So if you've not led yourself, you cannot lead others. You have to become self-aware. You have to first identify your purpose. And I always say, purpose is tied to problem solving. Now, when you identify a problem, you provide a solution. And every problem has a skill to solve it. Now, what skills do you have? There's this quote I say all the time: if you want to get rich, you solve rich people's problem. They pay better. If you don't have the right skills, people will not pay you. If you don't have a skill, people will not pay you. Daily credit alert is a product of skill. You must solve a problem to get paid. If you don't solve a problem, you will not have money in your account. People won't pay you. People pay you for your services. So what skills do you have? Are you good at writing? Why not build a portfolio around ghostwriting and write for top CEOs and executives? Are you good in graphic designing? Have you pitched yourself? Are you a teacher? Have you positioned yourself? Are you into marketing? What skills do you have? A lot of young people graduate from school and they do not have a skill, and they go to job interview and you hear things like, I can fit in anywhere. No, you can't. You can't be all weather. You can't be jack of all trades. You can never be competent. You must have a skill. What do people know you for? When your name is mentioned, what do people remember? So dear intending corper, dear serving core member, develop a skill. Stay on that skill. Build on it. Develop on it. Whatever business you're doing, align that hustle with your skill. It makes earning easier. If you're into the knowledge industry, monetize your knowledge, monetize your information. People are ready to pay. You must solve a problem, address a community need and challenge, and people will pay you for it. Turn your passion into profit. What hobbies do you have? You have a writing hobby. Why not create ebooks? Teach people how to write. Teach people how to ghostwrite. Teach people how to copyright. Teach people how to write advert copies. You're good in design. Teach people. Let people pay you for your service. Solve a problem. Find a problem in your community, in your immediate environment, in your peer group, and solve it. Turn your hobbies into income streams. That's how you can make money. Now, exploring legitimate business ideas. There are several businesses you can try as a young core member. Beyond the 7K that they will pay in your PPA, there are several ways you can make money. Digital services. We hear a lot about freelancing. Write for people, write for organizations, write for individuals. I'm a writer. I write for brands. I write for CEOs. I just had a consulting session earlier this evening with a client who needs to write a book, but she has a very busy schedule. And I need to write her book for her, and she pays me. I give her my time, I dedicate my time to create her book for her, and she pays for my services. If you're a graphic designer, go and open an Upwork account. Go and open a Fiverr account. There are several freelancing platforms you can go and create your account and showcase your skills. You can be a VA. You can render virtual assistant services. You can learn data entry. Mommy Choma Ifanyeze is there. She teaches data entry. You can learn content creation. We're in a very fast technology world, and only those who are advancing in technology and these skills can make money. We have offline businesses you can do. You're a lady, you're good with plaiting hair. Even in camp, they teach you how to make this, they teach you entrepreneurship. In camp, they teach you how to do tie and dye. They teach you a lot of skills in camp. Go for those entrepreneurship classes. Most times when they say go for this black breakout session, some of you will go to Mame Market. Some of you will go to sleep or look for one corner and be gisting. Or you won't even join the class, you're not serious. Take this training serious. There are offline businesses you can do. You can be a coach. You can join the coaching industry. Become an expert coach on a business. Become an expert coach on a particular knowledge industry. You can become a program manager. You can learn how to do program management. There are several free courses on Coursera, some of these platforms that you can go and learn. Search disaster.org, search Coursera, go to ALX, go and learn. There are several free courses. EDS courses, all of those courses are free. Go and enroll and learn. Program management, event planning. You can sell local foods. You can sell local foods. You can decide to make Zobo, healthy drinks, brand it and sell. You can decide to learn fashion. Most of the time during service year, you don't go to work all through the week. You don't go to your PPA all through the week. Sometimes it's twice a week. For some people, it's 3 times a week. For some people, it's 4 times. As the case may be, any day you're free, make sure you're enrolled into a skill. Make sure you're learning something. Learn how to create ebooks. Learn how to create digital courses. Learn affiliate marketing. Learn drop shipping. Learn social media management. There are several things you can learn. And then you can make impact in your service here. You can decide to choose a community project and embark on and make a name for yourself. So what program do you want to enroll in today? You must find a program, a skill, and enroll in. The next one is leverage global opportunities. There are several global opportunities. NYC National Award is there. National Award and Grant is there. Compete for it. Now, the question is, how do you access the NYC National Award? In the local community where you're posted, find out an immediate challenge. Write to the community. Make sure that the communities are aware of the project you want to embark on. Write to the chief, write to the local government chairman. Make sure that, these leaders in those local communities are aware of the project you want to embark on. It could be that, the girls in the community do not have access to menstrual pads, and you decide that, I'm going to embark on a project to provide 1,000 or 2,000 menstrual pads to every girl in the community. That's an interesting project. You can decide to provide solar lights in the community. You can decide to enroll children back to school campaign. You can decide to carry out a cleanup. You can decide to do an awareness campaign on SDG goal, on any project at all. You can decide to do a skill acquisition program, teach the community how to do certain things. You can decide to help the farmers plant. You can decide to donate gift items to the wrappers, to the women in the community. But make sure that any project you're embarking on, is that the leaders of the communities are aware, that you get a letter from your PPA, approval letter from the state coordinator, approval letter from the local government chairman, or your PPA, wherever you are posted. And then after you must have executed your project, make sure that it gains recognition. It's published in newspapers, that there is recognition for your project. That way, you are prepared for national award. You can get a full scholarship for your master's program and cash prize to start any business or project. Access opportunities on global platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, Coursera. YouTube is even a free university. YouTube is a free university. You can learn any skill at the comfort of your home on YouTube. Go to YouTube and look for that course, that program, that skill. You watch videos and learn. Go to Upwork and Fiverr. Open accounts and showcase your skill. Go to Coursera and learn skills. Go to LS and enroll. Collaborate with local businesses, NGOs. Partner with organizations. When I was 7, I did a major program in Uyo called the Leverage Conference. It was for young people. We introduced them to entrepreneurship, to business, to marketing, to branding. And we had over 1,000 people gathered. And we certified all of them. We went further to do other programs in the community for senior Africans through Story Care Project. There's several programs we did when I was 7. I partnered with Smile with Ebenezer Initiative back then, and we carried out the Story Care Project, generating stories of African seniors, their life experiences. We had some of these on record. I volunteered for several organizations like Alliance for Africa. In my opening speech, I showed there was a picture of me with several certificates and awards. I gained over 80 certificates and awards during my service year because of my skills and impact work. And I made a name for myself. Now I've been working with a lot of global brands in partnership. Just today, I received another email from a global organization for me to serve as a judge and panel in Ghana for a project. These were recommendations and opportunities I assessed during my NYSC. I became a semi-finalist during NYSC for Mandela Washington Fellowship. I got selected for Yali West Africa, Ghana, through NYSC when I was 7. I was diligently seeking for opportunities. I kept applying and applying for several opportunities. I won several awards. You too can do the same. So leverage global opportunities. Your NYSC should not be 1 year you waste. It is a second chance to put yourself on the global map, to make impact, to create legacy. Remember that time waits for no one. Now, structure your hustle. What business you want to start? Integrate your ventures with NYSC schedule. Like I said, for some people, they go to their PPA once in a week. For some people, twice a week. For some people, 3 times a week. For some people, maybe 4 times. Whatever the case may be, structure your business with your NYSC schedule. Structure your business. Every business, every idea you have without structure cannot thrive. Businesses, organizations thrive on systems and structure. You must allocate time and hours, days of the week for your business, for your idea, for your personal brand. If you are serving, for example, 3 times in your PPA a week, it means you have 2 extra days or 4 extra days to give time to your skill, give time to your business, give time to your brand. Likewise, if you're going to your PPA 4 times, make sure you allocate time and hours for your business. Hours for you to search opportunities. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. You must knock on the doors of opportunities. You must go to the internet. Google should be your friend as a youth corper, as a young person generally. Google should be your friend. Always look out for opportunities. And I dare to challenge you that if you're not applying if you're not submitting at least 7 applications a week, you are joking. At the level where I am, every week I submit nothing less than 7 applications. Before I joined on this training, I was submitting an application for Women in Public Policy Program. Just today alone, I've submitted 3 other applications. I submitted a pitch for Access Bank Pitchathon. I submitted another one. I keep applying. You never know the one that will eventually click. So why are you folding your hands? Opportunities are everywhere. Go and knock on those doors. You are too young to be wasteful. You are young and you should be useful. There's so much energy in you. You have so much time. And after school, it is official welcome to adulthood. Anything you don't do for yourself now, nobody is going to do it for you. So dedicate hours daily, weekly for your business. Now, leverage your free time. Like I said, maximize your weekends. Even if your whole week is choked up, maximize weekends. Those hours you're not in your PPA, maximize. Don't go about gallivanting. Time waits for no one. By the time you're done with service and then your 77K is no longer there, that is when your eyes will open to the reality of the harsh economy and the harsh reality we are in. That's when your eyes will open. So as you lay your bed, you lay on it. The way you lay your bed is the way you lay on it. Maximize your free weekends. Start that small business. Start that small idea. Start that brand. Begin to test out concepts and scale gradually. Start looking out for potential investors. Start pitching your ideas to community. I have a friend who was posted to Ebonyi State long time ago. She served in Ebonyi State. She discovered a certain problem in a particular community where she was posted. There were no lights, and her dream, her vision for NYSC was to supply solar lights to all the community. She had no money on her. She started looking for opportunities and eventually saw one opportunity online and applied and borrowed money and traveled to Lagos to pitch herself. She eventually came back and won that pitch and came back with over 5 million naira for that project. She eventually won the NYSC National Award. I have a friend also who also won the National Award last year. Start small, pitch your business, document your journey. Every day of your NYSC is an opportunity for you to build your personal brand by showcasing your achievements, your service online. My NYSC journey was documented from my first day in camp. I became a core camp director. I wasn't planning to become any platoon leader or stuff in camp, but trust me, those positions are elevation status. It gives you opportunity. I was the core camp director during my NYSC. And that gave me opportunity to lead over 1,600 corpers in camp. It gave me leverage. It gave me network. I had large network. I connected with every single core member. It gave me powerful connections. I met people. I met influential people in camp. And I documented every part of my journey from the day I entered camp to the day I passed out. I wrote my NYSC story every day on my social media. So build your brand, build your personal brand, showcase your service, showcase your achievements online. Now, building a legacy beyond money, beyond making money in camp, beyond generating money, beyond your alawi, build a legacy. Your NYSC year is an opportunity for lasting impact. Is an opportunity for lasting impact. You either get a mentor or mentor others. You either become a mentor to thousands or you get mentored. You have access to mentorship and visibility. Like I said, NYSC gives you an opportunity to lead people. You're going to a school to teach those students. It's leadership. You're going to the ministry to serve. It's leadership. You're leading in a position of service. Service is a skill. You're going there to mentor people. You're going there to contribute your skill, to contribute your culture. You're going there to be mentored and trained. So build legacy. 2, sustainable projects. Pick a project and execute. It's like I said earlier, it could be that the girls in the community do not have access to pads. Pad Up Girls campaign. Kick it off. It could be that young boys in the community do not have access to education. Kick off a back to school campaign. It could be that the women are suffering too much. Their small businesses are not growing. Support the women's small businesses. It could be, that there's too much sun. There are no shades. Plant a tree. Run a plant a tree campaign. Plant trees. It could be that the community is backward. They do not have access to skill acquisition. Do a skill acquisition campaign. It could be that, there are lots of number of out of school children. Do a school drive campaign. It could be that, there are no lights. Do a solar light empowerment. It could be that, the women, they don't have clothing. Share wrapper to them. Start an initiative. Start a sustainable project. We are all working towards achieving the SDG goals by 2030. You should be committed to at least one goal. Your business should be connected to at least one of the SDG goals. That is the way to scale your impact. That is the way to scale your business. That is the only way to access grants. That is the only way to access grants from international organizations like UN, like Alliance for Africa, like Ford Foundation, like Bob Women. There are several organizations. So ensure that you are working towards achieving at least one SDG goal. It could be end poverty. It could be education. It could be sustainable cities. It could be climate action. Pick one goal and do a sustainable impact project during your service year. Solve community problems. The community does not have water. You can build a borehole. Yes, it is possible. You can access funding and grants from the community, from external parties. So build. You can pick people. If you're in the mentorship space, pick children to coach, pick girls to coach, pick men to coach, pick community people. You can do training and awareness campaigns. So beyond your alawi, beyond service, build legacy, make a name for yourself. Till tomorrow, I built a name in Akwa Ibom, Uyo. I have a lot of people who still make reference to when I served in Uyo. I served in the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Uyo. So think of it as a business, a launchpad and a leadership incubator. Think of your NYC as a launchpad and a leadership incubator. Do something meaningful. Now you might ask, how do I even get started? Where do I start? Identify a problem. Is that simple? Find a community problem and create a solution. I gave several instances already. Find a problem. The community doesn't have water, find a solution. The community doesn't have light, find a solution. The community doesn't have, they have too much sun, there's too much erosion, plant a tree. The community is backward, you can decide to gift gadgets, computers, open a training center, identify a community problem and solve it. Start a hustle, begin a small scale business, online or offline. Launch that your healthy drink business, launch that Zobo business, launch that snacks business, launch that meat pie business, launch that clothing brand, launch that money knowledge business, launch that brand you've desired of. Start that designing skill, start that business, just start. You don't need to wait for it to all come together. Take a step. A little drop of water makes an ocean. There are several businesses you don't necessarily need money to start. There are several businesses you don't need money to start. And with your 77K Alawi, you can start a business. Register for awards. Like I said, register for Nysc National Award. Register for several grants and competition exercises. Google should be your friend. Go to Google, search grant opportunities for young graduates. Today alone, on my social media, I shared over 50 opportunities for women and girls. If you go to my timeline on Facebook, you will see where I shared 50 opportunities, job opportunities, grants, fellowship opportunities for women and girls. I also shared last week opportunities and free courses you can take in any field. So go to Google, search out opportunities. Apply for Mandela Opportunity Fellowship. Apply for Regional Yearly Leadership West Africa, Ghana program. Apply for United People Global. Apply for global opportunities. Application for the United People Global Fellowship in Switzerland is open. Apply for opportunities. Don't wait till you are done with service. Register for awards. Document and share your journey on social media. Network with people. Networking is very important. So if you're looking for a way to start, this is just the template. Identify a problem, solve it, start a hustle, register for awards, register for opportunities, search opportunities, document and share your journey, network actively. Now, your NYSC doesn't have to be passive. It doesn't have to be that year. Do not join those in the school of thought that NYSC is a scam. That's pure lie. I'm a living testament that NYSC is not scam. I got the highest opportunity of my life as a youth corper. I got job opportunities. When I finished my service year, I had over 5 job opportunities chasing me. I had received over 80 awards and certificates. So NYSC is not scam. NYSC can only be scam to you. It means you are the scam. If you achieve nothing in your NYSC, it means you scammed yourself. You deceived yourself. You wasted 1 year, 12 months of your time, of your life. So anybody telling you NYSC is a scam, it's a liar. You choose the path you want to follow. Maximize your NYSC, identify that skill, start that hustle, seek that recognition, make that impact, document your journey. The world pays for solution and not excuses. Nobody cares about how, oh, I was not trained by a rich dad. Oh, I come from a poor home. Your poor background should not be the reason why your life should remain poor, should not be the reason why it should remain on the ground. Your poor background should be a motivation. It should be the reason why you break out of poverty. Nobody respects a poor man. And you can decide to be rich by maximizing your service here. your entrepreneurship journey starts with your NYSC. Your journey to change Africa, to change your life, your family life, to change your bloodline. It starts, your journey to breaking generational curses starts with what you do with your NYSC. If you are thinking the future is tomorrow, the future is now. The things you do now are the things that reflect. Your daily routine is exactly the things you see in your future. Yesterday is gone, today is gone, tomorrow will soon go. And any day that goes never comes back in history. Yesterday can never repeat itself. So the things you do today will show the results you will see tomorrow. Like I said, we all have 24 hours, but what we do with our 24 hours are different. What you do with your 12 months determines how far you go in life. The world pays for solutions, not excuses. Make your NYC your profitable, powerful, purpose-driven year. Experiment, fail as much as you can. I say this all the time. It is better to work with someone who has failed before than someone who has not failed at all. So experiment, fail as much as you can, learn, and build a legacy. Thank you. Please drop your questions. I like to take a few questions before we call it. We come to an end. So the floor is open for your questions now. The floor is open for your questions, please. I'd like to take your questions now.
Yeah, so while we're waiting for them to drop questions, I just want to take this moment to thank you so much for coming. I personally learned one or two things, or even 10 or 20 things, let's put it that way, from everything that you shared, your stories, your journey, the lessons, the challenge, especially. So we really want to appreciate you. And even from the comment session, we can see how people have been engaging as well. They've learned one or two things that I believe they can now apply to their journey, to their NYC journey, and they can maximize as well. They can be able to use to maximize their time and their service here. So guys, we're still waiting for your question for Miss Precious before she leaves the course. So if you have any question, you can just ask now before we go, right? Okay, so while we wait for questions, maybe I can just ask one, Miss Precious. So I want to ask that, I heard you say that you had about, I think about 80 certificates and awards during your NYC. If I'm correct, if I heard that right, like you had about 80. So I want to ask that, within all these periods, you were still like the co-CAM director, and a good number of things that you did. Of course, like you said, you were still building a business. You were doing all that things that allowed you to save money for your NYC and to save your allowances and all of that. So how were you able to manage all of these things conveniently? Like, I know that's the trouble for some people. They are saying all of these things, how can I be able to manage all this position, my time? How can I do 20, 30 things all at once? So what is the balance? How were you able to do it? Because I believe that is the question in the mind of somebody when they were listening to that part of your story, that I want to do the same thing that you did. I want to be like you. Not when I grow up now. I want to be like you during my service year. So how were you able to do the balance, your time, and manage the people, the attention, and still succeed without breaking down? at the end of the day?
Amazing, very beautiful question. I love that. So the truth is, like I was saying, understanding timing and creating a balance. Every human being on earth, if you don't understand how to build balance around the things you do, you will have a very big problem and you will burn out and break down. Now, people can get busy without being productive. You're just doing everything. You're a jack of all trades. You are everywhere. Yet you are a master in none. That's where the problem is. Now, if you want to really maximize your service here and get the best out of it, you have to understand the power of timing. And if you notice during my session, I laid emphasis on timing. One of the things that helped me is first, I had a vision and I had a plan. When I started, I asked, do you have a plan for yourself? Do you have a plan for your service here? I had a structure. I had an existing plan before I left my house to camp. I already planned that, okay, first I want to join OBS. I had that plan. I had done a research work on Nysc for over 3 months. Yes, before I received my call up letter, even before I did my application for Nysc, the moment I finished university, I did a research on Nysc. I was so eager that there was this excitement. Oh, so from here now, we're going for service, you know. And I was really excited. And I told myself, okay, what is this Nysc about? How do I find more about this Nysc? What do I need to do differently? You know, I said asking questions. As I dropped my last paper, I asked a lot of senior colleagues. I asked my friends who are abroad, who have done their service and traveled. I asked people in my local environment. I asked intending coppers. I made friends with a lot of them, and they gisted me the experiences in camp. I did my own research and I had a plan. I drew a map that once I enter camp, I love public speaking. I love newscasting. I love talking. I love speaking. I can speak for the next 2 to 3 hours without getting exhausted. So I want to showcase this skill in camp, right? And the right channel is OBS. What does this simply mean? Once I get to camp, I need to go and apply for OBS and make sure I get selected and interviewed and join the team. So I had that plan already. Now I heard about platoon leaders. I had no plan to be a platoon leader. I just wanted to join OBS. So first have a structure about the things you want. It will guide you. Without a plan, it's just like building a house. You can't build a house without a foundation. You need to have a strong, solid foundation for your house to stand the test of time. So I had the already existing plan. So I got to camp. Now let me be more practical with my story. I got to camp, and the first thing I did, I finished doing some registration in camp and all of those things. I rushed to OBS and I registered to be part of OBS. And then a few days later, they called us for interview. We had that interview and I got selected. Now, I didn't know God had other plans for me. See, when you have a plan and you have God with you, trust me, the universe, God has a way of making things work in your favor. So my Nysc was was seriously ordained and orchestrated by God. It was divine planning. I had my own plans, but God has a bigger plan. So spirituality is also very important, right? So I got into camp. I, went for my OBS, got selected. Now, after that selection, that same evening was the evening for the state coordinator to do official welcoming of all core members in camp. Something played out. I was just passing. I think the next morning, rather, was the day for official welcoming. And then I was passing the pavilion. I forgot something somewhere and I was trying to go pick it. And then my OBS chairperson, madam, she called me. She said, you're precious, right? And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, we interviewed you and you passed. Okay, can you do a closing remark? Have you done a closing remark before? And I said, yes, I can. She said, okay, the state coordinator is going to be addressing the corpers for the very first time. And when she's done, we need a core member to do the closing remark. I've been looking for everybody we interviewed today, and I saw nobody. And luckily, and she said, please, she gave me a pen and a paper. She said, scrapple your closing remark, quickly write it, and I'm going to review it. I wrote it, I gave it to her. They had their meeting, they read it. They had the meeting and they read it. And then she said, okay, you're going to read with the paper. And I said, no, ma, I don't need the paper. I wrote that from my brain, so I know what to say. She said, oh, that's amazing. Looking forward to it. When she said that, something jumped in me and said, don't just read what you've written, go the extra mile. Who is your state coordinator? What is her name? Where is she from? What are the things she likes? Do you know about the person you're going to appreciate? That thing was ringing as a bell. Immediately, I picked my NYC manual. I went on Facebook. I went on Google, searched my NYC coordinator's name, and Google gave me information about her. I added it to my speech. And by the time she was done and I got to the stage to speak, I only called her full name and her designation. I wasn't done talking. She already stood up. She was in shock. How did this person know details about my life, about me? By the time I was half my speech, the whole pavilion, everybody was standing up. The whole COM members were clapping. There was so much joy, so much echo. By the time I finished my speech, the woman was overwhelmed. She said, "What is your name? Who are you?" And that was it. She picked interest in me. Mind you that anybody who is a COCAM director must be a platoon leader. I wasn't qualified to be a platoon leader. I was never a platoon leader. But I found favor. It didn't end in the speech. After the speech, a day later, everybody, after we finished having several activities in the field, and people were just rushing back to eat and all of that. And I was busy packing up seats. And the state connector was passing. And she saw me packing seats. And she said, "Is this not the same lady who gave closing remark?" She identified me and she called my name. I greeted her. She said, "You're doing a great job." She moved. Fast forward again, I bumped into her again in another circumstance. I greeted her. And then she can't forget. She can't seem to forget who I am. And then all of a sudden, I was in my hostel one of the days sleeping, and two army people came with my OBS madam looking for me. And they said they were going hostel to hostel looking for me. And that's how I came. And I saw platoon leaders lined up in the pavilion waiting to be interviewed. Guess what the state coordinator said? She said, "Please, excuse me, Precious, come." And then she said, she asked the entire NYC camp, "Do you guys have questions for her?" They said, "No, she's good." And the camp commander said, "No, I have somebody in mind already for this position. However, I have questions for her." He was asking me both relevant and irrelevant questions. I was answering. I found favor after that day. And then the next day, after giving the news, I was in OBS office resting when they called me up that morning. And I was running to the pavilion. That's how they announced me as COCAM director, leading over 1,600 coppers in Akwa Ibom State. So you see, first is I had a plan. Secondly, God had another plan. And that was where my leadership in camp started, combining OBS and then why doing all of this in camp? I was actively searching. If I show you my Google search history, you will see that there's no week I don't search for global opportunities. My email alone, every day in my email, I receive over 20 global opportunities because I subscribe to a lot of opportunity notification platforms. So every day I open my email, I'm seeing over 30 opportunities and I'm applying back to back. Most times I don't sleep at night, I'm applying. That is how I got those certificates and awards. I kept looking. I didn't wait for opportunity to come to me. I knocked on doors. I hosted events. I put off events and went around Uyo looking for partners, looking for investors. I wrote letters to local government chairmen. I wrote letters. I honored people. I did awards for people. I did picture frames. I bought gifts. I honored people. So I combined service, my hunger for knowledge, my ability to balance time, and I structured all of this. And that's how I was able to achieve all of those things. So you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan first. You need to have a structure. You need to understand how to balance your time. And you need to be hungry for knowledge. If you're not hungry, you cannot achieve so much. You need to be hungry for knowledge. You need to be very hungry for knowledge. And like I said, every week apply for opportunities. Knock on doors. Knock on doors. There will be challenges, though. There will be challenges, yes. But when challenges come, break the wall, break the limit. There's no limitation to anything apart from yourself. They told us to apply for applications and programs. How does it take for each program and application? So, Maria, you said, how long does it take for these applications? Every application has a timeline. Adio, Maria, I'm answering your question. So, every application has a time limit. For some applications, they give you 1 week to apply. For some, 2 months. For some, 3 months. For some, 2 weeks. For some, 3 days. Every application has a deadline. So apply as many as possible. Check out the timelines of these applications. For example, I know Mandela Washington Fellowship for 2026 is ongoing, already closed. Either ongoing or already closed, I can't remember. But when you search for these opportunities, you will see timelines to each of them. Like the MC Grail Scholarship in Canada just ended last month. So for every program, there's always an end line. So you check the end lines of these programs. And so some programs online, for example, you want to do a program management course, because I did a program management course during my Nysc, and that course took me just 1 month. So most of the times I take evenings to go through my classes, write my assignments. I took another course in women empowerment and leadership. It took me 3 months. So some courses have different durations. There are some ones that will take you just about 24 hours, some 48, depending on the program. There are several programs too. World Bank currently has several free courses. You can go to World Bank platform, search their website, go to those courses. You can go to disaster.org, search those programs, search out for these opportunities. Now, Amos Ayobami said, what was my greatest challenge during NYSC? Did I really face any challenge? Okay, yes. One of the challenges is language barrier. Most of the times you might be posted in a community that do not speak a language you understand. Language barrier is not a major challenge. You might be posted in a community that do not speak your language, you do not understand what they say. So that is where you network with people who understand their language. This is where networking helps you to navigate. You network with people who understand their language so that can help you implement your project. Another thing could be funding. You might want to do a community project that requires huge capital. So to attack the funding challenge, one of the things you need to do is to apply for grants. Write to local government, write to state coordinator, write to individual brands, organizations, leverage your network, apply for funds. You can do a crowdfunding to raise funds for your project. You can write to organizations in your immediate service environment. You can partner with NGOs too. So I think these are just the 2 major challenges. When I hosted my big conference in Uyo, Leverage Conference, I had to write to a lot of brands in Uyo, and I gained sponsorship. Most of them will seem hard, but you have to keep pitching and pitching till you get the funding you need. Then I think that's basically the things I faced. I really didn't face any major challenge because I already had existing templates. Now I have Rufus Akinwumi says, in a situation whereby the students in the PPA that posted to are academically poor, what can you do as a club member to solve this problem? It's very possible. Educate them. This is where awareness comes in. And you can run. Interesting. This is a very interesting question.
Yeah, sorry to cut you, Madam Precious. Yeah. So for some reasons, your mic was going on and off. So when you wanted to say this question now, we couldn't hear you. Well, probably you can repeat the question again.
Okay, so for Rufus Akinwumi, your question is, in a situation where the students in your PPA, where you are posted academically poor, what can you do as a core member to solve such problem? Now you're posted to a PPA and the students there academically poor. What can you do to solve this problem? Very interesting question. And I love this question because it's in relation to SDG goal to quality education. Quality education. Now, if you're posted in an environment where the students, are academically poor, the first thing you ask yourself is, are you academically sound enough to help these students? Which, of course, in most cases, yes. If you are more knowledgeable to them, you can start from the basics. What are the basics? Start teaching them in those areas you think they have deficiencies. Most of these local communities do not have qualified teachers, and that is why they are backward academically. Most of their teachers are not so qualified and not so knowledgeable about trends, about what is happening. That is why you come in. So the first thing to do is identify the root cause. Understand the reason behind their poor academic performance. Is it that, so in some communities, it could be that they are not feeding well. They don't have quality food. The kind of food children eat or people in the environment eat affects their brain and their way of life. Are they living in abject poverty? Poverty can be a cause that they don't have access to education. And so any kind of thing that comes, they take. So understand the root cause. First, identify the root cause of the problem. When you want to solve a problem, they tell you to first draw a problem tree. What is the essence of a problem tree? A problem tree helps you to see the different areas where these problems are coming from, the root causes, the consequences, the effects on the people. So the problem tree helps you analyze the problem. So the first is identify this problem. Is it due to lack of resources, like I said? Is there abject poverty in that community? Is it inadequate teaching? Do they have professionals that teach them? Or is it something else? Find out the root cause. Then the second thing is you can develop targeted interventions. Create lesson plans for those children. You can create an extracurricular activity, create a lesson plan, to cater for the needs of the students that focus on foundational skills. For example, if you discover that the students there do not understand mathematics, you can create an extra activity to teach them mathematics using maybe little things that they know. I've seen a teacher who uses drink openers, little signs to demonstrate mathematics and how they add up. It could be by little sketches and drawing. So develop an activity that helps these students, foundational skills, the foundations of the basic things they need to know, right? Create an extracurricular activity. Then make learning engaging. Some students understand through storytelling. Incorporate storytelling. Make the learning engaging. Use them as example. Make it practical. Don't be too theoretical with these students, right? Give them activities, something to practice on. So make the learning both fun and engaging, and they will improve. Then you can provide individual support. Try to make out time to have one-on-one conversations with these students who need extra help. If you identify some of them that need extra help, create time to have one-on-one conversation, find out their challenges, and offer help. You can collaborate with your Nysc colleagues as well to do maybe a school skill campaign where you guys come together, teach them different skills with fellow teachers who are already existing in the school, right? You can also seek for resources. If these students are so poor that they cannot afford books, this is where you can do a book drive, buy them textbooks, buy them materials, buy them resources for school, and then monitor their progress. Assess the students' progress gradually, bit by bit. With time, they will definitely eventually pick up. So remember that every student learns differently. There are several ways students learn. Some learn when you're telling them stories. Some learn during drawing, a lot of ways. So by the time you put in this flexible method, you see that these students will improve. I hope I've answered your question before I take my time on that question. So now let me answer the last question we have by Amos. The last question from Amos Ayobami. You emphasize so much on beauty. Did you have an experience of any toxic relationship, and how did you avoid it? So Amos, you're asking if I had toxic relationship experiences. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Same thing happened actually. I think for some reasons your mic is just probably as you are reading the question, there's a distance from your mic or something, but we can hear you now.
So Amos' question is emphasis. You laid emphasis so much on quality relationships. Did you have an experience of any toxic relationship during your NYSC year, and how did you avoid it? This question came from Amos Ayobami. if I encountered toxic relationships and how did I avoid it? Of course, yes. Why networking? You meet a lot of people. You know, several people roam the face of the earth. There are people who are normal, there are normal people. You meet several individuals. I had a lot of experiences. And I handled it differently. So I had a particular peculiar experience where I networked with a particular person and I needed this person to sign a particular document for me, and this person was asking for, the other benefits. This person was trying to harass me, the other way around. How did I handle such relationship? I didn't handle it aggressively. I politely withdrew from the person after making several efforts to have plain conversations without the other conversation. And this person was not coming forth. This person was persisting. I had to look for alternative means to find funding to what I wanted. And I completely left the person out of the book. I had another relationship who was very toxic and tough. This person almost made my service here very, how will I describe it? A hell, right? Possibly because this person is in my, how do they call it? In camp, after camp, you are assigned to a particular, what do they call those units? Oh, I'm trying to remember. But now, you're either in the SDGs, you're either in the sports, everybody has, particular stuff they join. Yeah, so I had a particular person in my unit that was very stubborn and tough. And because I had to go through him all the time, it was very toxic. So in toxic situations like that, if you have someone proving toxic, what you do is check out for alternative means to avoid the person completely. If you have a way to avoid the person, please avoid the person and move on to the next. Not everybody you connect with will help you. Not everybody you connect with you must build a relationship with. Once you see a relationship is becoming toxic, please run for your dear life. Cut that relationship off. Politely, do not burn bridges. You might need them tomorrow. So when I'm talking about building relationship, you must know your boundaries, to set up boundaries so people don't walk into your life and mess it up. Not everybody should have access to you. And it's not pride, it's you protecting your territory. So when you notice somebody is being toxic, please cut them off politely. Or you report to the necessary authorities. There are several ways to handle such. Don't jeopardize yourself or don't put your life on risk because of some toxic human being. Protect your peace at all costs while trying to make impact. If somebody is proving stubborn, cut them off. There are 1 million people in the world. So if this person says no, after all, you must get 100 no's before you get a yes. Sometimes out of 10 no's, you get 1 yes. So if somebody is proving toxic, cut them off and move on to the next person. So that's how I handle my own toxic people. If you come into my space and I notice you're toxic, I cut you off and look for the next person to replace you with. And if I find out that, I must jam you every day, then I look for alternative means to solve it. So please, that is how. Thank you so much. I believe I've answered all the questions.
Wow, yeah, you've done that. You've answered all of the questions. So, and we want to really appreciate you once again, Ms. Precious Chinweani, for coming here. We are so grateful. I bring greetings from all the management team of Kingpeak Holdings and from our chairman as well, Mr. Guniyi. So we want to appreciate you for coming here to bless the life of core members who are joining from different parts of Nigeria. Some of them are currently serving, some of them are aspiring core members. We call them potential core members. And I believe that they've learned one or two things. But when you were actually sharing your personal story the other time, talking about how you had some encounters with people in camp, I was like, hey, made this madam no mention the state that she served, where she served, all the so if we don't start tracing the group or the states, but we just want to appreciate you for going raw. So that's what I mean for.
There's nothing to hide. We had good encounters. This
Yeah,
thing is you attract your kind. If you're
yeah,
a bad
yeah.
person, your aura will attract a bad person. I mean,
Mm.
Akwa Ibom State is one of the best states I like
Eventually,
ever.
you mentioned the state.
Yes, I served in Akwa Ibom, and I'm proud to say it anytime. Akwa Ibom
Yeah,
State was very welcoming, very
yeah.
loving, very. I served in the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Shout out
Awesome.
to my boss and to the entire. They made my stay so like amazing. I had the best working experience at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and my state
Wow.
coordinator, amazing, phenomenal, incredible woman. So yes, I had a very great experience,
Awesome.
and it's worth
Awesome.
sharing. It's worth sharing
Yeah.
energy anytime.
Yeah. Thank you so much for emphasizing that. Thank you so much for emphasizing that. I'm glad you did, so that people know that it was an amazing experience. Also, people, I mean, nobody is saying that anybody in the NYC official are bad people. They are all good people. We've had a personal encounter with a good number of them as a result of what we are doing with NYC as an organization. So they are good people, but at the same time, like Ms. Precious has said, you just have to learn how to manage people and challenges when you come across them. All right. So, but when anybody is showing you any bad attitude, don't retaliate back. You can see how she shared the wisdom that she used to, politely. I think she mentioned that. She mentioned that, but she said she politely withdraw. So you don't just burn the bridge just because you are getting the energy that you are not, that is not interesting. So it requires wisdom to withdraw from any toxic relationship or any toxic people that you encounter, not just in NYC, but in your life. So thank you so much once again. And please make sure everybody for joining. I'm thanking you now for joining. Make sure that you invite another person, like a core member who is your friend, who needs to be here. Remember that um, it is not just about you. We talked about it yesterday. It also matters the kinds of people you have in your network. So if you want them to think the same way you think and you want to grow together, make sure that you tell them about this valuable webinar. And I tell you what, tomorrow is going to be super amazing. In fact, tomorrow we are going to be starting by 7 p.m. because we are having two facilitators. Trust me, they are going to be sharing how they were able to systematically get funding for the impact that they made. One of them even received a presidential award this year in 2025. The other person also did a lot of impact projects. So they're going to share their strategies and their principles and everything they did to be in order for them to achieve that milestone. So don't miss it. It's going to be practical. And tomorrow is the final day, and we're going to see you there. So bye, 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 and have a wonderful night rest.